So I hear tell that I have an interesting injury to discuss.
Yeah, trying not to be too macho here, so apologies to any of the female listeners out there. But one of the cool things in that guys like to, I don't know, just speaking for myself, I guess, it's always kind of a badge of honor, if you will, if you get a scar from doing something cool. Like if you get a scar on your chin from falling down on the concrete because you were clumsy, that's stupid. But if you get a scar on your chin because you blocked a shot or you were playing baseball and you got hit in the jaw or something like that, then that's cool. It's something to talk about. It gives you character, if you will.
I have a scar on my chin from getting hit in the chin with a glass bottle during a play. Where does that rank on the scale of cool?
The fact that you are a tough cookie, man. I'll tell you that. That's where it ranks. It ranks 10 out of 10 because if you get nailed with a glass bottle, especially if you're not expecting it, and I'm sure you carried on with the show, right? Did you even miss a beat?
No. I was apparently bleeding all over everybody for the first act.
Yeah, right, but it didn't stop you.
It wasn't even a performance. It was a dress rehearsal.
Oh, God bless.
Oh.
But, yeah, I mean, Gary is way too humble. And just to let you know, he's playing hurt tonight, too, because he's under the weather. But playing goalie in deck hockey, especially a butterfly goalie, which means his style is that he's going down a lot and is very physical and very hard on his knees. So Gary having pretty much two bad knees, right? I mean, with the braces and all that stuff.
I had bad knees before I started playing deck hockey from my days of high school track. So running on concrete for all those years. So yeah, I mean, this is just the icing on the cake, really. So
Gary's tolerance for pain is extremely high. I don't want anybody testing that, please. But he's a man's man, if you will. So.
Oh yeah, that's me. I'm a real outdoorsman and I'm a man's man. Like, was it Steve Regal in the old WWF? He's a man. He's a man's man. That's me.
Hey, you got Viking blood in you, man. So
that's true. I am 1/4 Viking.
So between that and having the nickname the American Rhino, you are not a man to mess with. So anyway, point being that he has a very high tolerance for pain, and all the times that he's getting hurt and playing hurt, he just never brings any attention to it, and a lot of times he will never ever use that as an excuse, and a lot of times we don't even realize it. So it's much appreciated. A couple of weeks ago when we did play, somehow you got a scar on your knuckle, and having the blocker and the glove on, it's kind of interesting how that came about. But the funny thing about it was it looked like an angry face. So if pardon my memory, but if you haven't posted it on Instagram yet, please do when you get a chance to show everybody what we're talking about.
I haven't, and I will.
Thank you, sir.
To answer your question about how it happened, basically, my catching glove, I think I talked about this on the podcast before, but basically I had this, I think it's a Bauer catching glove that I got, but I could never break it in. So I just went back to my old Tor catching glove, which is very well broken in, but the strings keep coming apart and the flaps come open sometimes. So in this particular instance, the string came loose. I didn't realize. And I guess I had to drag the glove on the ground for some reason. I don't remember why. And at some point I scraped my knuckle, my left knuckle. And I only noticed because during intermission, one of my teammates came over and opined that I was bleeding. So I was like, oh, yeah, so I am. I guess I have to fix my glove. So, but yeah, when the game was over and, I cleaned off the blood, I noticed that it did, in fact, look like an angry face. And I thought that was kind of cool. So I suggested this segment, not so much because I'm a big, strong, tough guy, because I'm not, but because I thought that, it was kind of, as James said, it was kind of a cool, it's not even a scar really, because it's mostly faded. It was just more of a scratch than anything. But, I said to James, I think we could have a good segment about, whether you've had any cool kind of injuries or cool scars or, injuries that you're proud of or injuries that have a cool story attached to them. So I think this was less a cool story and more of just a cool happenstance. But James, is there anything that you're particularly proud of over the years, or that has any particularly interesting story attached to it?
Yeah, not really. And I preface this with being careful what I wish for. So,
right, of course.
Yeah, I'm fine with not looking like the villain in Batman the Animated Series which was named Scarface, the ventriloquist doll who had that big gash on his cheek.
Yeah.
Or
Zaz. Right?
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Zaz is a Batman villain he's like a serial killer who likes to kill people with knives, and for every person he kills, he cuts a slice into his skin to remember them by. So his whole body is just covered with like slices and scars from all the people he's killed. Anyway, this isn't the Hit the Bat podcast. That's not anyway. Sorry, please go on.
So. Well, that's a heck of a lot more interesting than what I was going to say. So I don't have any great scars or cool stories to go along with them. The only thing on my body is they're referred to as strawberries because they're basically like red blotches of. They're not really it's a permanent red blotch, I guess. It's not a scar proper, but on the right side of my body, like my hip and from diving on concrete, so I deserve that for being stupid to dive on concrete.
Wait, I know I realize that you dive on concrete all the time, and I think you're a crazy person for doing that. But you're telling me that you have permanent injuries to your skin from doing that? Stop doing that.
No, you're right.
It's not worth it.
Duly noted, and you're correct. I mean, it's mainly because I've really, my skin is kind of soft and like a baby. So you couple that with doing stupid things and bad things happen. So, but
now who's a real man's man, James?
No. Anyway, just
I get a little boo-boo on my knuckle. Oh, you're a real tough guy. Yeah. James slides around grating his skin like on a cheese grater. He's like, oh no, I'm just, shucks.
Yeah, well, apparently a scar on your body is the equivalent of somebody else losing a limb, like in what's the movie?
Monty Python?
Holy Grail. Yes, exactly, right. The Monty Python's Holy Grail.
But
anyway,
it really was merely a scratch.
Yeah, right. It's just a flesh wound. Meanwhile, somebody had to tell you you were bleeding, and your first instinct was, "Oh, I got to fix my glove." Not even that. So anyway, no, I don't have anything cool to and I'm not going to show anybody these scars either, by the way.
Okay, good. I won't post them on Instagram.
Right, thank you.
Which, in case you need the reminder, we are at Hit the DEK on Instagram. So, please feel free to check out my scab.
Yeah, right.
That's again, marketing right there.
Sure. It's we've talked about this in HTD's past, but basically it's just to let everybody know out there that you do play with passion and you play hard. And like we said in last edition, that we play within the rules and stuff like that. So it's not to intimidate anybody. It's not to pat ourselves on the back, or it's just kind of like a conversation starter, I suppose. If you have a cool scar on your knuckle or your hand or something like that, and you can, hey, where'd that come from? And then hey, I was playing deck hockey and made a save, and that's what happened. So
yeah, and if you have something cool, some cool story attached to an injury that you want to relate to us, please hit us up on the Facebook page at Hit the DEK, or email us at hitthedek@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to talk about it on the show. So there's that.